Now, our world is increasingly computerized. This building is a computer that we put nerds inside of. A pacemaker is a computer that we put inside of our bodies. A voting machine is a computer that we put democracies into. And a 747 is a flying Solaris box in a very fancy, very expensive aluminum case. The only way we can tame, secure, and perfect these computers is if we can configure them. And so in the 21st century, you'd hope that configuration would be becoming more readily available, but instead, we're taking it away. Back in 1998, Congress enacted the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, DMCA. It's a big, gnarly hairball of copyright law, but one section of it has been particularly salient in this moment. Section 1201, the anti-circumvention element of the DMCA, makes it a felony punishable by a 5-year prison sentence to bypass an access control for a copyrighted work, to get rid of some DRM. Now, once this was used to stop competitors and hobbyists from making DVD players that could play deregionalized discs, or modding Sega Dreamcast to play homebrew games, and therefore make sure that Sega always got a cut because you had to use their CD presses to press a Dreamcast game. But now, this law, it affects everything that has a copyrighted work in it, and since software is a copyrighted work, and since software is in everything, this law increasingly affects everything. And that's why DRM is now found in voting machines and cars and tractors and toys and pacemakers and artificial pancreases and baby monitors and drones and phones, because once a vendor deploys the minimum viable DRM, a one-molecule thick layer of DRM that can be colorably claimed to do something to stop people from accessing a copyrighted work, then they get to invoke DMCA 1201. And that gives them the power to sue anyone who bypasses the DRM for any reason, to make a compatible product, to do security research, to reveal a defect in a product that the person who's using the product might want to know about. Because once you know about software defects in DRM, you know where to start probing to dismantle that DRM. And so what has happened is that firms have gotten the ability to convert their commercial preferences about who can criticize and interoperate with their products into legally enforceable rights. And that's why DRM is proliferating anywhere. The latest iPhones, if you take the screen out of an iPhone that is busted, say it's got a broken circuit board, and you put it onto the body of an iPhone that's got a broken screen, it won't run anymore. You have to get permission from Apple in the form of an authorization code. And bypassing that permission to use an Apple screen on an Apple phone without Apple's permission, bypassing that authentication step is a felony punishable by a 5-year prison sentence. John Deere has put DRM in its tractors so that if you're a farmer and your tractor breaks down and you swap a new part into it, it won't work until you pay up to $200 and wait 1, 2, 3 days for some rando to show up at your farm and enter an authentication code into your dashboard. Every time you turn on the key, you have to click through a EULA saying that you agree to these terms. Eli Lilly has just launched an insulin pump that takes proprietary insulin, and bypassing that lock is a felony. We're turning people with diabetes into inkjet printers.